Do you feel like you're spinning your wheels in trading?
When you have a red day in trading, a red week, a red month, do you let that destroy your life outside of trading? Do you let that affect your mood?
Welcome. This is Vanquished Trading. My name is Mike.
I'm Andrew.
And today we're going to be speaking about how to fail forward in trading. But before we get into it, Andrew, what is failing?
Failing, tough question. Failing in trading can be a lot of things. Honestly, I would say for the general public, most people probably see failing in trading as a loss, whether it's a losing trade, a losing day, losing week, losing month. A loss is a failure. Pretty standard definition. We don't like losing. Losing is generally equated to failure. But why? What makes a loss a failure? So first, I feel like you kind of have to define what your goals are in trading to determine whether or not a loss is a failure. So, Mike, what are your goals in trading? Let's just pretend it doesn't have to be your real goals in trading, but let's pretend you're a trader. What are your goals in trading, Mr. Mike?
My goal is to be profitable in 6 months and to quit my job in 1 year.
All right, fantastic. So we've established your goals. Let's say you have a loss. If you have a loss, have you failed at your goals?
Maybe not yet,
Not
but if
yet.
I lose repeatedly for a week
Correct.
or
So,
2 weeks.
but would you say that loss, that one loss, is inherently a failure?
No.
No, not necessarily. Okay, fantastic. So you haven't completely failed. So how do we turn our losses into something that, instead of looking at it as a failure, how do we turn it into something where we fail forward?
And
Right.
benefit from it.
How do we benefit from that? Because we want our losses to be something that bring us benefit, because unfortunately, you're going to lose in trading.
So a lot of it is just understanding what your goals are at first, for sure. It shouldn't be anything related to a timeline. It's just going to make it very easy to feel like you're failing. You can't timeline things in trading. So that's my first piece of advice. But you really got to understand that the only way that you will become better is to learn from your mistakes and learn from your losses. So every time you have a red day, instead of it being a failure and one day that sets you back to that goal of being profitable in 6 months, you need to take a step back and just think about how you can benefit from that day, what you can learn from that day, dive into that day.
Right. You mentioned at the beginning spinning your wheels. If people feel like they're spinning their wheels, if you're like I said, you're gonna lose. So if you don't gain anything from your losses, you're gonna feel like you're spinning your wheels, because you're gonna have wins, you're gonna have losses, but if you don't mitigate your losses, try to decrease your losses, you're gonna end up in the same spot that you were before, because you're going to lose. So if you continue to lose at the same rate that you're losing now, you don't decrease your losing, you're going to be spinning your wheels. You're going to be stuck in the same spot.
And to be honest with you, a lot of your losses are going to be repeatable patterns. They're going to be things that you can simply correct, to be honest with you. You can probably point out something wrong with every single trade that you lose on. So it's all just about pattern recognition and readjusting your approach every single day and learning from it, rather than showing up, losing, and feeling sorry for yourself. And
right, and that's where the second point, the second question we brought up really comes in is, does that losing day or losing week, does that affect your emotions then, and does that affect things outside of your trading? Is this loss now going to be something that continues to affect you beyond just being that loss? Because it shouldn't. Beyond being that loss, it should not affect you. You should let it affect you in your trading, in that you should use it to push you forward. You should use it to learn something. But you shouldn't let it affect your emotions. You shouldn't let it affect how you feel outside of trading,
The
how you feel about yourself.
the worst thing that you can do is have a losing day, especially if you followed your plan and you had a losing day, and the whole day all you can think about is how you lost and how you're going to make that money back tomorrow or next week. That is the most destructive thought loop imaginable in trading, truly. It turns into a dark hole.
That is,
You have,
yeah, that's absolutely the wrong way to approach your losses.
for sure. And you to think about it in a better way, you have to, like I was saying earlier, just kind of zoom out and realize this is just one day or 1 week. And I guarantee you, if you dive into the reasons that you lost and actually identify and slowly work on correcting them, you'll see results. But in order to do that, you can't be emotional about your failures. You have to just look at them from a bird's eye view,
Right.
and learn.
You have to detach from the emotional aspect of it. You have to, same thing goes for the wins too. This doesn't just go for losses either. You have to detach from the emotional aspect. You can't pick to just detach from trading emotionally when you lose. You also have to detach from trading emotionally when you're winning too. So just detach from trading emotionally entirely. We've said it before. We'll keep saying it. Treat trading like a business. Now, it's okay to be passionate about that business, but don't let your emotions affect your decisions that you make in that business. Let that passion influence how hard you work in that business, but don't let it influence the decisions that you make in the moment, because that's where things really start to go south.
For sure. Do you think like the world's elites, athletes, whatever, when they fail, let's say, for example, an NFL player makes a terrible pass. Do you think that if he sits there and thinks about his terrible pass the rest of the game, he's going to perform well?
I
No.
think he's probably going to throw 5 touchdown passes
Yeah.
in the rest of the game.
He-
I think that's what's going to happen.
He needs to go, once they turn that ball over, they need to go and sit on the sidelines. They need to watch over that tape, and he is going to have that in his mind and learn from that failure and just move on. It may be in the back of his mind, but instead of attaching something emotional to it and that this hurts, all it is just a mistake that you just fell and you
Right.
fell forward instead of falling backwards.
The proper way for them to do it is they go over to the sideline, they analyze the film, they see what they did wrong, they say, okay, I'm not going to do that again, and then they move on. It should be the same in trading. You should be analyzing your film. We've talked about this before. You should be recording your sessions. So, go back and analyze your film, see what you did wrong, say, okay, I'm not going to do that again, but don't get emotional about it. Don't say, oh, I'm such a horrible trader, I made this stupid decision. Just say, oh, I'm not going to do that again. On to the next day in trading, or the next week in trading, or the next month in trading.
For sure. But really, what we want you guys to get out of this is don't be so hard on yourself. I know that trading can lead to some terrible thought patterns, etc., when you're losing, because it's one of the only skills where you can put all of your time, effort, and energy and still burn money every single day.
It is a great way to lose everything very quickly,
Including
if you're
your
not careful.
confidence and yourself.
Yeah, that's true.
So-
Not just financially. You can lose everything.
For sure.
Everything mentally, emotionally. As
So
well.
just focus on the day-to-day, right?
Right.
Just focus on the day-to-day and learn from the day-to-day. Accept your failures. Learn from your failures. But
Keep your failures small. Don't let your failures be something that
no, for sure.
is catastrophic.
And that'll be something that we can cover definitely in the future more in depth of.
Right, how
Just-
to fail properly, how to fail small.
Correct. But
How to
this
lose
is
small.
just how to think about failing.
Right. How
For
to
sure.
change your thought process around failing, because again, you're going to lose. So change that thought process to be, how can I take this loss, this supposed failure, how can I take this and turn it into something that's still beneficial
For sure.
for me?
And I mean,
Because-
it's a simple question. Do I want to sit here and feel sorry for myself? Or do I want to accept this loss,
Right.
Learn from it.
At the end of the day, it is that simple.
It's that question. So I want you guys this week, if you're feeling down about yourself, you had a red day, as soon as you're done with that day, you close your computer, ask yourself, which path are you going to go down? And focus on that every single day, and you will improve.
Right. What am I going to do with this red day?
Yeah, that's all you need to do. Am I going to soak my sorrows, or am I going to become a better trader? But Andrew, that's about all I have for right now.
That's about all I got.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate it, guys. Remember, focus on failing forward this week.
Fail forward. If you're going to fail forward, and you're going to fail. So we'll see you out there. Have a great week in trading.
See y'all. Good
Peace
luck.
out. Vanquished Trading Company out.